Tomorrow is the domestic violence shutdown here in South Africa. I was very much in two minds about doing this post, but it can't come at a better time, so if not now, then when? I was abused in many different stages of my life in various ways. Abuse comes in many forms. It can be physical, like beatings, sexual, with molestation and rape, verbal, emotional. I've gone through all of those. Different people, sometimes the same person. And I've gone through victim blaming a lot. One of the worst ones I got was being assaulted sexually as a teenager, and I was told it was my fault. One of the worst parts was that this person was in school with me, and he literally sat next to me in one of my classes. Of course, I didn't report it. I never reported any of these cases. I think the difference in South Africa and like America and those places is that we don't report things quite as easily because we don't have the same type of relationship with the police as we do there, especially when it's like you're being beaten or things like that. Our first reaction is not to call the police. Well, that's just my experience. This is a really hard video to make. The worst part is people not believing me. I always say, why would I lie? The amount of people I've told is literally a handful. I just want other victims to know you are not alone. And whether anyone believes you or whether no one believes you, it's still valid, it still happened. I grew up in a very violent household, and watching my mother being abused as well. You never forget. And I know as a Christian I'm supposed to forgive and forget. I haven't been able to, and I truly admire people who do. I just can't. It's stupid, I don't know about other people, but you will watch like a movie or something and there would be the most random thing that would trigger the abuse that you went through. And I've always been pretty voiceless. I do see a therapist once a month, and for the first time I've brought up a certain abuse which I only remembered like 3 years ago now. I buried it that deep that like it only like literally popped up like 3 years ago, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even remember that. So if you or a family member are going through this, I know you need to report it, but more importantly, find a safe space. And if you have kids, please try your best to get out of the situation. I know it's not easy, especially financially. It's very easy for people to say, oh, just get out of it. It's not that easy, especially financially. You can't just pick up and leave. Like, where do you go? That's another thing in South Africa. Our shelter system is really not very well. Like, there isn't like a lot of shelters, especially ones that take kids as well. I pray for a good day tomorrow. I hope we bring a lot of awareness to this topic. God bless. What I did want to add to the video that I completely forgot about was coping mechanisms. Like I said, I am in therapy. I do see a psychologist once a month. I also see a psychiatrist, so I am on quite a bit of antidepressant medication, anxiety medication. Those are all crutches, but without them, I can't cope. We've tried to wean me off some of them, and it just doesn't go very well. Unhealthier or very bad coping mechanisms I have is, since I was about like 14 or so, I started cutting myself. It used to be like completely superficial and absolutely nothing, like with like a blunt scissor. As the years progressed, it got worse and worse. When I was 19, I cut my wrists so badly that I needed like 33 stitches. I always thought that was a funny amount. I still do it to this day. I do it on my wrist, on my thighs, on my stomach. About 2 years ago, I did it so badly on my wrist that I had to go to the emergency room. But I have arthritis and fibromyalgia and epilepsy. So I do have to go to hospital for certain treatments, but I absolutely hate hospitals. So my husband and my mother would do their best to treat it at home, plasters and medication. And I actually need to thank God that it's never gotten infected to the point where I've had to like go to a doctor. But you know, on the one hand, I always say that my scars remind me that the past is real. But on the other hand, I always have to draw blood for like liver tests and kidney tests and whatever. And I always like giving my right arm because there's only a few little scars on there because I got a tattoo over it. But my left arm is absolutely covered, and people say to me, why don't you just get a tattoo over it? The honest answer, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to spend all that money on a tattoo when in the back of my head I'm like, I'm not ready to give up that spot where I find relief. And you know what? With all this domestic violence stuff like on TikTok and Facebook and everything else, it's brought up really, really bad memories. So like 2 weeks ago, I cut myself again. I've been wearing long sleeve shirts even though it's summer, and anyone who knows summer in South Africa is brutal. Like, I've just made excuses as to why. Luckily it's been raining, so it's not that hot. I've tried to commit suicide more times than I can count. Medication, slitting my wrists. It's a running joke with me that nothing can kill me. Because no matter how many, like the amount of medication I've taken, prescription medication, would have killed anyone. Like the last time I did it, I was out for 3 days. I don't remember it. But I always made my mother and my husband swear they would never take me to hospital to like get my stomach pump or whatever. So for 3 days they looked after me. But it really does affect your relationships. And especially my relationship with my husband. I think at this point he's numb. I think he just kind of rolls with it, and he's just like, oh, okay, it's just something she does. Because he's even said to me, you know, stop crying, it doesn't do anything. That was hard to hear, because I'm going through this trauma, I'm working through things that I haven't worked through before, and now I'm told to keep it bottled up at home, basically. The point is, going to a psychologist and a psychiatrist doesn't make you weak. It's actually very brave to admit to someone that you need help. And we do need help. And please, please go get help. You can't manage on your own. Nobody can. Okay, that's it.